Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. Today we're going through again Transcend. Might actually also be Transcended, I don't know, by Scott Barry Kaufman. Or Kaufman, however you fucking pronounce it in English. I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead with the next chapter, which apparently is explorational. And I do want to say something to that afterwards, because I think that this is incredibly important, and it is incredibly interesting as well to see how good it can do to one in terms of a mental well-being, I guess. Anyway, people who score high in the general tendency toward exploration are not only driven to engage in behavioral forms of exploration, but also tends to get energized through the possibility of discovering new information and extracting meaning and growth from their experiences. These quote-unquote cognitive needs, as Maslow referred to them, are just as important as the other human needs for becoming a human person. Becoming a whole person. I find it pretty interesting to say that just because you want to discover something new and you want to see something new, you just want to explore, you want to have an adventure, that you're automatically gonna just extract every single bit of fucking meaning and growth out of this singular fucking experience. Like, it is essentially not what I'm doing, at least not consciously. I like exploring things, I like seeing new things, and I, especially when it is in the area that I am already at, where I'm living, quite. Just getting to know every single fucking place there is, and just, finding every little spot there is, every spot where you, could just relax, you could read a book, you're just alone, things that you just haven't seen before. I'm not trying to get every single tiny bit of meaning out of these experiences. I do just like exploring, and that is quite it. Anyway, the upside of adversity. It is precisely when the foundational structure of the self is shaken that we are in the best position to pursue new opportunities in our lives. These 7 areas of growth have been reported to spring from adversity. The first one, a greater appreciation of life. The second, greater appreciation and strengthening of close relationships. The third, increased compassion and altruism. The fourth, the identification of new possibilities or a purpose in life. The fifth, greater awareness and utilization of personal strength. And the sixth one is enhanced spiritual development, and the last, creative growth. What even means adversity? To be exact, misfortune, disaster, distress, hardship. I see. I mean, you can get something out of there. You can get something out of misfortune, and it can certainly rebalance things. It can certainly make you be more grateful for whatever you're having, and see those things that you are having. Whereas when everything is always great and there is no setbacks, there is no thing to worry about or whatnot, then, well, obviously, there is no contrast. There is no contrast in life. Then everything is so good and everything is so amazing. And, possibly the tiniest little thing that, could be somewhat negative could really disturb you on one hand. And on the other hand, you're not as grateful as you could be for what you're having, just because you lack contrast, you lack different experiences, you lack change, quite. And I think it also makes sense to do it on yourself, just not waiting for something bad to happen, but making yourself be grateful for what you have. By, for example, restricting yourself of sleeping in your bed, which is a pretty common example, for a few days. It might actually also be one day of sleeping on the floor, just to see what it is like, just to see that it is actually pretty comfortable in your fucking bed. Or you could just not use your phone for a day, so that you are making yourself more grateful for actually having one and being able to contact your friends, being able to just, fight leisure time, whatever it might be. You can also do this for yourself and on your own. Cognitive exploration. A key factor that allows us to turn adversity into advantage is the extent to which we fully explore our thoughts and feelings surrounding the event. Cognitive exploration, which can be defined as a general curiosity about information and a tendency toward complexity and flexibility in information processing, enables us to be curious about confusing situations, increasing the likelihood that we will find new meaning in the seemingly incomprehensible. Incomprehensible. Yeah, that is the word. It is only through shedding our natural defense mechanisms and approaching the discomfort head-on, viewing everything as fodder for growth, that we can start to embrace the inevitable paradoxes of life and come to a more nuanced view of reality. Openness to experience reflects a drive for exploration of aesthetics, affective and sensory information through imagination, perception, and artistic endeavor. Intellect reflects a drive toward exploration of abstract and verbal intellectual information, primarily through reasoning. Intellect reflects a drive toward exploration of abstract and verbal intellectual information. I see. Interesting. Creative self-actualizers. What the fuck? Are capable of transcending the ordinary dichotomy between the intelligence of the mind and the wisdom of the heart. They are able to throw their whole selves into their work, flexibly switching between seemingly contradictory modes of being, the rational and the irrational, the emotional and the logical, the deliberate and the intuitive, and the imaginative and the abstract, without prejudging the value of any of these processes. Creative self-actualizers are true cognitive explorers. Well, I do see a very certain group of people kind of in that description. And as dumb and as obvious as it may sound, but I think creative workers, whether it is a graphic designer, whether it is movie maker, Windows movie, cinematograph, I think you call it in professional terms, or a photographer. I think these people indeed are capable of seeing feelings, their very irrational side of things, feelings and emotions, sensing them in, for example, a picture. Having the quote-unquote creativity and or the eye for being able to abstractly show and communicate those feelings or those things in a picture, and or just, seeing it, recognizing it, whatever, while on the other hand, being able to rationally adjust the the focus of the image or the composition of the image so that it is also looking great and feeling great from a technical perspective, and also indeed having a technically well done photography, so that you can use it afterwards in Photoshop to get even more out of it, and so on and so on and so on. I think also, as I've been experiencing, these people are often very intellectual, and I myself, being a graphic designer, do not want to say that I'm very intellectual, not necessarily, but you can see certain behaviors in these people and certain understandings and ways of thinking in these people. It's actually really interesting. I've been able to notice that throughout the past few days, months, I don't know, that not always, but quite often, those creative people, they are, quite similar to each another in certain ways. Love, the growth need, to have the capacity to give love to those whom we don't even have direct contact with or feel a personal connection to, is a major pathway to a life of greater health, vitality, meaning, and growth as a whole person, not to mention a way of feeling more secure. Which I think really makes sense. If somebody really loves you and, you're having a boyfriend, you're having a girlfriend, this indeed gives you a lot of security, because there's always somebody to come back to. No matter how fucked up your fucking day was, there's still somebody that's going to listen to you. There's still somebody that's going to hug you. There's still going to be somebody that is going to just do quite a bunch for you so that you do not feel fucking fucked up. And this is, also something that I've seen. Having this support structure, this always available, I don't know if this makes sense, but always available support structure that you can always contact without feeling bad about it, without just having any negative feeling in you. This is really amazing. This can give you such a lot of strength and such a lot of possibilities as well. Of course, this all comes with other things you need to be doing. Of course, you have to give back as well. You cannot always demand. This person is not gonna just deal with that forever, quite. Go away, please. Anyway, be love. Maslow explicitly distinguished needing love from unneeding love and referred to the former as D-love, deficiency love, and the latter as B-love, love for the being of another person. Instead of needing B-love is admiring, and instead of striving for satiation, I guess, B-love usually grows rather than disappears. As a result, B-love is typically a more enjoyable experience as it is intrinsically valuable, not valuable as a means to some other end. Therefore, B-loving people show that agency and communion need to be at odds with each other. In his 1966 book, The Duality of Human Existence, the psychologist David Bacon, B-A-K-A-N, emphasized the importance of integrating two essential modes of human existence, agency and communion. According to Bacon, agency involves self-protection, self-assertion, separation, and isolation, whereas communion involves participation, contact, openness, unity, and non-contractual cooperation. Bacon, or Bacon, however, argued that optimal mental health requires a state in which there is coalescence between charity and self-interest, between communion and agency. And yeah, I think that I'm gonna end the episode there. I just feel like ending it there. What I wanna end with is love is amazing, or love can be amazing, if you want it to be amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna see you the next time, I at least hope. And have a nice day. I just wish you the best. Bye-bye.